Hey yo, peep this.
Yeah. This is how we like to do it.
God's gift from above the skies.
No lie.
Tune into the buzz while you get high.
The hitter, spread some wisdom so you can relate on topics of every kind to elevate your mind.
Listen, Mary Jane is not a drug. There's so much love in every nug.
New strains, they'll be the judge and see what it does. It's between the buds.
Watch this. Yo, yo, yo. What's good? Checking in. We out here in Robinwood. It's your boy Dro Derek. Shout out to my guest host, Big Hayes.
Your surrogate, you know what I'm saying, co-host, you know what I'm saying, Big Hayes in the building. Thanks for having me again. Y'all gonna see me around, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna be in the building.
Yes, sir. And we also got a lovely guest, my brother Devin. Not the Devin you may be used to. Shout out to Weed Jones. But I'm gonna let this Devin introduce himself.
Hey, Devin Sutton here. I really appreciate Broderick and Big Hayes having me out. We miss you, Weed Jones. But I go by AV Mutt, and then I work a lot in the lovely industry, but also music industry as well. Excited to talk to these cats.
Hey, so yeah, today, you know, we're gonna, like you said, talk it through and get to know AV Mutt or Devin a little bit better. And yeah, for sure.
Keep it green.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it green and keep it positive and keep it, you know, stern. Here we go. Nah, but anyway.
Y'all know Dro.
GPS,
A little
green,
slow.
When I'm off the drove, I'm a little slow. But it's cool because I'm computing. You know, it's like everybody, they mind or they, you know, they got cars that do the same thing. You look, so sometimes it be that way.
The
Computers do that. You said the Teslas. Nah, yeah, the Teslas, they do
I'm
that.
nervous with Teslas here in Columbus, Ohio, man. To be
I'm just nervous with
honest,
Tesla, period.
well, how many cars have been crashed in storefronts in Columbus? Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I swear, every other one of them is a Tesla. Like last one was at Whole Foods and like Dublin or some shit,
snap.
or Trader Joe's.
Oh, wow.
And it's still a Tesla. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, you guys are obviously eager to get your guys' eggs or something, but
gotta get it turbo mode.
yeah, man.
Oh, that's funny. It's a lot going on with Tesla, but we're gonna keep it moving. Let's shine a light back on you, Dev. So, Devin, how would you say cannabis helps you medicinally?
Other than making sure I don't drive Teslas, cannabis has been, I don't know, the pinnacle of my health. From when I was a child up until now. Granted, like well-rolled kids, we definitely smoked and hotboxed around our suburbs. Experienced all those, you know, smoke sessions with the boys or girls back in the day in our parking lots, all that stuff. And then as we grow older, like, we have a lot of psychological issues, physical issues. The biggest thing that cannabis helped me with, not only is my physical issue of my torn Achilles from college and professional lacrosse, but also growing up, I had a pill addiction. So pot itself has helped me get past that addiction of using Oxy and Xanax. I went to rehab twice.
Wow.
So,
Question on that. Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Question on that. So, when you were smoking weed before you started doing the pills, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So do you feel like, because a lot of people say weed is a gateway drug, right? Like you start off with weed, and then you end up somewhere else. Do you feel like weed led you? Like I know it was you were injured, and they gave you the pills. But no, I'm saying, like, do you feel like weed would have led you to, you know what I'm saying, something else?
I think the gateway that everyone speaks about is the genealogical disorders that people have as addiction.
Okay.
And, yeah, I mean, I come from two parents that have alcoholic issues. My father leads AA in Europe and used to in the Virgin Islands and New York City and DC and all that stuff. Yeah. And he's an amazing fellow. Irrelevant to that, like, I was also sipping alcohol when I was 14, 15 years old too. Okay. My first time I ended up getting on pills was because I have a knee issue called prepatellar bursitis when I was playing high school lacrosse. So when I had that issue and I tore my meniscus, MCL, and ACL, it was an internal tear that totally tore up my whole career high school wise, where they put me on morphine straight up in the ER that night.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised you walking. You said ACS.
Yeah.
That's
TCL. Look, don't go chasing waterfalls. I mean,
it gets worse. It gets worse actually with my legs and my knees with that. So when I was 16, I got prescribed 10 milligrams of Percocet, and the issue was I was so busy going to class and pursuing my sports in high school that my parents and I didn't have the time to actually take the pills at a right rate. So, I don't think pot is a gateway drug at all. With coming back to that question, I think coming from a family or coming from a scenario that we're like, hey man, like, you got addictive personality, you can do what the fuck you want, and you're left with a prescription, it's just gonna happen. So coming back from that, pot has always been that alternative where like, I need something to calm my mind. Yeah, and if I'm gonna be addicted to something, and I'm gonna be fucking around with some sort of, sedative, or something that's altering my mind psychologically or physically, I'd rather do pot. Over alcohol, pills, any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you'd rather be a God-given natural than a fun of it.
I'm just saying, like fear. Like when I think of drugs, and I think of like it's regular stuff that can kill you. Probably Ozempic could probably kill you if you take enough of it. I'm just saying, like
water.
It's stuff that we get over the counter daily basis, Alka-Seltzer, whatever it is, Pepto-Bismol. All of these things are drugs, right? But if you take enough of it, it can kill you. I feel like you can take as much weed. Like I don't fear weed as a drug. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I fear other things more than I feel like I fear weed.
Right.
And it's crazy to think that like a lot of people fear weed is up there with drinking like alcohol or like, you know what I'm saying? Like
it's tough, and that's the thing. Like I think where people have that, and I'm not trying to call anyone out here. Everyone's beautiful, but I believe that people have the perception that weed is a gateway drug, are the people that didn't have the opportunity to actually experience it themselves, or expand their knowledge.
The disbelievers.
Left outers.
To each their own, because I do know a lot of people that are like, oh, weed makes me paranoid. Like, I can't smoke that shit because it makes me paranoid.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's cool that you're chugging a bottle a night. Like, So
that makes me think straight.
Yeah, but that's okay, and that's okay. To each their own.
Oh, yeah.
But then in the same breath, like it's I don't think they are, and to each their own. Like I said, not knocking anyone down. I just don't think anyone has had the opportunity to have a better alternative of drinking, or they had a bad experience.
Right.
Maybe they ate too much brownies that one time, and now they will never touch weed again.
Correct.
Shit like that. So, but
and it's almost like, not to interrupt, but it's almost like with alcohol to a degree. For the most part, most people already know they have that precursor that like, oh, if I consume too much, I'm gonna vomit, or it could lead to some things I don't like. If people know from either them experiencing it themselves or hearing about it from other people. With cannabis, they can have bad experiences too, but sometimes it could be the moment, and like they'll take a homemade edible versus actually getting something that's actually they know precisely a little bit more better what's in it, the dosage. So it's like how do you get somebody to bounce back from a bad experience?
That's a really good question too.
And it's tough.
It is tough. It is tough.
I definitely be trying to get people to like, those who like be like, oh no, I can't mess with that. I
Yeah.
had a bad experience, and I'm like, okay, everyone has a bad experience maybe once. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that's the difference between like, because with alcohol, I feel like just to say alcohol, like you see it and you get to it and it's there like weed, but like with weed, if you have someone to help you kind of get into it, then I feel like it'll be an easier transition, and then like you just trying it or doing it and like, oh, it was a bad experience. With alcohol, I feel like everybody's experience was probably bad the first couple of times. But
man.
you didn't stop with the
exactly.
alcohol.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like
You just like, oh, I know my limit.
yeah,
And
like,
that's
you know,
kind of
so
what
that's
my
what I'm
uncle
saying.
told
Like,
me. Like,
you
that's how he
didn't
trained his
stop
daughters.
with those little bad. You knew, ooh, this tastes horrible when I took a shot of this. But,
Yeah.
all right, let's take another one and let's see what happens. And then, like, you get drunk, you throw up, you do these things, and it's like, why would I want to do that again when I could smoke some weed if you had it the right way and you feel good or you feel, relaxed or feel, you know what I'm saying, how
Right.
weed makes you feel. You'd be like, okay, maybe this,
Yeah.
you know
Nah,
what I'm saying?
that's exactly what my uncle told me. How he kind of when my cousins, shout out to all them, the family. But no, he told me, he's like, yo, when my daughters first got like of drinking age, I took them to the bar and basically let them drink till they couldn't drink no more. And it's like, damn,
stupid drunk.
yeah, that's how you use like. So now I knew that they was prepared to like when they out on their own, they know like, all right, let me stop. I'm like, basically.
Yeah.
So why can't we do that with cannabis? Shit, let's smoke our face off, bro. Until we usually you just gonna go to sleep, but we can have cots or something or fucking blow up mattresses for people to at a safe space and just let people consume all they want. All they gonna do is laugh, create shit, or maybe cook up. Just do dope shit together, in my opinion, rather than just like fight or vomit. It very rarely does cannabis make people sick unless you got that. Here's a new like cannabis. I don't even know the name, how to pronounce it. Something hydrosis. We gonna maybe try to put it
Greening out.
Greening out.
Yeah,
I don't know the exact.
greening
It's
out.
a scientific term, but I can't say the word.
I think the worst, this is the last situation I can think of that it's never been a bad situation of people being so stoned, but the most people so stoned was at a cannabis festival. It was High Times. One of their cannabis festivals, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, was Steve Aoki performing as the headliner.
Dope.
And this is when he started doing his cake thing.
Yeah,
So he's throwing cakes around, all this shit.
Yeah.
And that being said, when he was throwing his cakes at the show, all these people are so stoned at the festival, and I'm literally everyone was slow mo. Not a single person at this EDM rave was actually in the zone for the show and whatnot. They're just like having a great time, and then out of nowhere, you got Steve Aoki standing on top of the DJ booth, pelting people with cakes, and
people coming, they're like, cake me,
cake
me.
And imagine a drunk crowd and just getting pelted in the face with a cake.
Right.
They probably knew about it too, but in the same breath,
there's somebody.
everyone was eating cake off each other at that point because everyone was so stoned.
Yeah,
it was just such a nice vibe.
Peaceful. Nah, that's what it's about though. Speaking of peace, cannabis usually brings those vibes, and shout out to a good friend, partner, whatever you want. They're just more friends, brother and sister duo, Pothead Genius. They're from Cincinnati, but they do a peaceful block party every year. They've been doing it for about 10 plus years now, I want to say. And legit, I've seen the whole street get shut down for a minute for some hours, and then local businesses actually work with them too, and everybody just eats, everybody works together peacefully. It draws in people from all over, and it's sick because it's like, that's the power of cannabis. When they don't have no alcohol sales there unless people sneak it there or they go somewhere and get it elsewhere at the bar nearby. But it's pretty cool because it's just peaceful, man. A lot of people, it's hard to get a lot of people together and not have violence, sadly, but cannabis, I think, can do that.
It's easier, definitely, with cannabis.
Yeah, it's
than
way
it is
easier.
alcohol. Get a room full of people, give them alcohol. It should be a study now. They should be like, we're going to get 10 people, put 10 people in the room, we're all going to give them cocaine. Then we're going to put 10 people in the room, we're going to give them all alcohol. Then we're going to give 10 people.
Yeah, they should.
And then alcohol and cocaine together, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
See what happens in that room,
10 people in the
too.
room, give them shrooms.
They
And then
gon-
see,
they
with
gonna
the
stop
interaction
talking.
and the vibe. And I guarantee you, the people who drink alcohol, there's going to be 2 fist fights. if you the people with the cocaine is gonna be a yelling match or something,
Or talking all night.
Somebody gonna be mad.
I would feel bad for those test subjects so bad. They would have to go through a whole festival right there. Probably.
Okay, they get a DJ too. No, but speaking of, how would you say, or what's your preferred way of using this plant? Because there's so many ways as we're starting to like learn and be more further educated. A lot of people, when you say cannabis, they instantly think just smoke, but it's not necessarily just.
Well, technically, we're not allowed to combust flower in Ohio. So.
Well, adult use now it's changed. It
has.
Yeah,
Go.
adult use. So, but go ahead. Not to cut you off.
No, I'm glad that we are actually able to combust flower now because that's my main go-to.
With the adult use rules, that's allowed, but that's one thing that we voted on that they're allowed, sticking to. But apparently, when you vote on stuff, it don't always, matter.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio's Ohio, OHIO, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But that being said, I love combusting flower. I love just waking up, smoking a bong right off the rip.
Yeah.
Edibles are always great, obviously. I've been starting to actually dabble recently into different strains of edibles.
Yeah.
Of sativa and indica, because like I was always under the impression like, oh, eat an edible, you're locked in the couch, you're done for the fucking night.
Right.
Dude, you can. I think eating 10 milligrams of the day is the way to go.
Yeah, it's like a vitamin.
Just microdosing.
Yeah,
So it's
and it's so nice
boost.
because also too, like, granted, like, we all love that instant high of combusting and taking a dab.
Yeah.
But the more and more inhalation you have in your lungs, you're gonna start feeling it. And I'm 31, and I'm like hawking loogies. So I'm just like, alright, maybe start dabbling edibles. So recently I've been actually eating the Mike Tyson gummies. With the little ear bite off.
Yeah, that's crazy that they allowed him to do that. Like,
oh, dude, they're so fun.
Like, I guarantee you, Holyfield is getting some money. I guarantee you, Holyfield. Like,
they have to.
Mike was like, "Hey, you already know we've been over the years. This,
Hey,
I got you.
Here's a little makeup for biting your ear.
No, they've been made up about the ear.
I know.
But he like, look, we gonna keep getting paid off this.
Exactly.
Ear,
you think he paid him like, hey, like, do you think I can get like a mold of your ear, like
Would
your
you mind
nipple?
sending me, can you send me the X-ray picture?
Right. We're trying to get an identical ear so everybody can be Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying?
We want everybody to experience this in cannabis.
The best, they're 20 milligrams per ear, and on the package they show you how to like cut it in half, and shows the nibble. To make sure if you don't want to do 20 milligrams, you can do 10.
Oh my! Mike Tyson's the GOAT.
Yeah, so
I mean, he's a GOAT in a lot of ways because I respect him in so many reasons. As far as like, there's a lot of celebrity brands that do partnerships with cannabis, but he actually like stands behind it. He's out promoting it. He's an actual ambassador in a sense. Yeah,
like activist.
Activist. Yeah, he does both rather than just like, oh, I just want my name on a brand.
And that's what I like about it. He's an athlete. He's an athlete that has gone through so much head trauma, so much physical trauma, so much injuries. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's another thing that I, as an ex-athlete that was drafted after college, that promotes, because I tore my Achilles in training camp after I got drafted in college. And that was already after I went to rehab twice for pills. So that's when I really, really like cannabis. Cannabis. So that's why I love Mike Tyson's brands. He literally is a professional athlete that got the shit beat out of him. He beat the shit out of people too. And he's the nicest guy ever. Fucking fellow weed. So
let's go ahead and light this first one up for Mike.
I light it up for Iron Mike. Hey, salute to Iron Mike. I got a chance to briefly chat with him at BizCon last year. And then,
that's what's up.
It was dope. I shook his hand and told him, I literally got to briefly tell him, like, thank you for being a real advocate.
That's awesome.
Because, like, I'm sick of seeing people like, oh, I got a brand, and then they don't even use it. Or they don't, know nothing about the plant.
He's got carts. He's got cartridges. He's got.
I'm sure he does everything now
disposable-
because he does mushrooms too, so he advocates for the shrooms as well.
Even better. Like, and that's what I'm saying, man. And that just shows that, like, obviously for an athlete that advocates for his product so much, shows that he used it to help his recovery from his injuries and things like that.
Yeah.
Because shrooms, I mean, like, dude, shrooms itself, like microdose alone, are great just with alcoholism as well. Just energy, all that good stuff.
No, for sure. And like, well, shroom, that's a whole nother thing. But and I don't know too much about that. I'm still learning myself. But I just know energy is a big thing with using shrooms. I feel like because if you go into it with a bad energy, it can be a bad experience.
I hear that a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta be in a good headspace, or you gotta be around good people.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. What I'm experiencing with cannabis is it kind of provides you that energy, whether you got it or not. It's hard to like smoke a joint or blunt and then still kind of be like, man, fuck that person. It's usually like, man, I could have handled that better maybe, or maybe I'm gonna call him up.
Bro, this is shiny. Like you know,
Yeah.
you forgot about the
Right,
thing.
what you was even, it just like, man, I'm telling you, the common denominator when most people tell them they use it, it's like reflection. It's just like an instant reflection tool or kind of like stop and think. That's what society needs to do way more, in my opinion, in a lot of, actions or happenings. But nah, speaking of how you prefer to use, do you have like, as far as lineages, do you, sativa, hybrid, indica, or do you more, do you
Strictly,
explore all?
I support all, but no discrimination here. But sativa, my partner and I, we love to smoke sativa during the day. Myself, I'm indica all the time.
Indica.
Yeah.
I'm in the couch. I'm in the fridge.
I'm in the couch. I'm in the basement.
Big Hayes is in the.
I'm in the church though.
I'm in everything, but when I'm indica, it's mainly for pain.
No doubt.
Yeah,
I feel
no.
that exactly.
All in for pain.
Yeah, indicas too usually help. Most indicas sometimes have CBD or fuller spectrums with cannabinoids, so your body's able to, feel better, relaxed and calm
Yep.
with the pain. But no, that's what's up. What about do you have a favorite terpene, or are you familiar with
Dude, I really, really love, oh my gosh, Girl Scout cookies, I forget the terpenes.
that? No, hold up, you good?
I know what it is.
Hold up, I'll get
like that skunky
Let's see.
taste.
Let's see if we can pull it up for you real quick.
Skunky.
Like myrcene or
If it's skunky, maybe like
Yeah.
some.
cause that's like the earthy, the
Piney,
piney,
yeah,
or
maybe.
myrcene.
I think it might be myrcene. We
Hold up,
were.
we go pull it up. Girl Scout cookies. I gotta do the
I
strain.
know I'm a fool for Lena Lou. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny. Yeah. he got the sticker.
Yeah, you
love
feel me?
that.
So
For real.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm a little-
I like
Okay.
beta caryophyllene, the peppery shit, but
Okay.
so like the terpenes that's coming up, like I said, myrcene, limonene, and beta
Lemon,
caryophyllene. So
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, I
a
like
lot
the
of
lemony
sativa,
flavors.
Yeah, you're a sativa guy. Yeah, you like the limonene, I think, because a lot of the sativa, like you know what I'm saying, people who like
Yeah, I say the limonene livens people or liven you up in a sense too.
I'm liking the flavors more. I'm noticing sativa that you get more terpene profiles. I feel like.
Yeah.
Indica, I don't know. I haven't really been noticing best taste in the dispensaries lately.
Okay.
But yeah, indica is my go-to.
Okay.
for sure. Yeah, hybrids. Yeah, hybrids are good for sure too. I feel
I'm not, like I said, I don't discriminate at all. Give me a good fucking nug, I'll twist it up either way.
Exactly.
yeah,
No, I feel that. Hell yeah.
I'm already stocking up a lockdown. Oh, past it. Oh, woo! I was like, oh, god damn.
Yeah, hell yeah, the stogie. That's how we gotta roll, you know?
Let it, y'all. Let y'all know right now. The motherfucker hit right now.
It really is. It took me just one hit. I was like, oh, I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level.
Yeah, man. I'm glad to have you in here, man. With us, though. You know what I'm saying? You came out. You know what I'm saying? You still made it in. We did that for y'all, man. So I better, come check us. Come with us for y'all.
No, absolutely, nah, for sure.
Last time I smoked, because I actually, somehow I can't even handle backwards. Is that backwards?
It's a frontal leaf.
Frontal, yeah.
Leaf backwards.
So Juvenile, we did visuals for Juvenile at the Key.
Hell yeah.
And this was in 2020, 2023.
Yeah.
In the fall. Were you at that show? At the Juvenile show?
No.
So the whole time in his rider, Juvenile, and their manager were advancing to us, we just need $500 worth of Popeyes.
Not the Popeyes.
And they didn't clarify of what they wanted from Popeyes.
It was like
They just
$500.
$500 of Popeyes for the crew. And I was like, okay. And then from then they fucking asked for 4 bottles of liquor. I was like, all right, we got you on that.
Yep.
Still nothing advanced for their lighting, their visuals, what they want on the LED wall, any of that shit.
Popeyes.
And just Popeyes and liquor.
Popeyes. That sound like Juvenile.
So this is also when Juvenile released Juvie Juice. And Juvie Juice is just like Rap Snacks.
Yeah.
But it's his own juice line and all this stuff. So the only flyer I got is a 2-dimensional animation. I'm stalking Bologna, baby.
No, you good.
Juvenile with Juvie Juice tattooed on his forearm like this. And I'm like, sweet. Okay, so I'm not talking to him, his DJ, his manager, of what the fuck they want on their stage.
Yeah.
Just Popeyes.
Just Popeyes
Juice and Juvie Juice. And liquor.
Yeah.
So, as soon as we get into the green room and they're there, I was like, hey, I need to talk to them. I need to figure out what colors we want on stage.
Right.
Because I don't want to do the wrong colors. And what visuals you want on your backdrop. Because I have a cameraman taking visuals or taking shots of Juvenile was performing with his MC, which was his son. Really super cool.
That's dope.
That being said, I walk in, I'm like, hey man, like, I'm Devin, I'm a production manager, lighting guy. Just want to make sure we're on the same page of what we're doing tonight, all that good stuff. And his DJ is his uncle. And he's like, yeah, just do these colors. We're super chill. We fulfilled the order on the liquor and the Popeyes. And that being said, they ask, oh, how's the crowd out there? And I'm stony baloney too at that point. And I'm like, oh yeah, like, you know, it's a pretty cool crowd. Like a lot of people out there. It's a little older crowd.
Yeah.
It's Juvenile.
Right.
And he pops out of the bathroom of the green room rolling up a backwood. And he's like, what the fuck you mean older crowd? We're not old. What are you trying to say right now? And I'm like, oh, no. It's a hip crowd, hip crowd out there. And he's like, okay. okay. And his uncle, the DJ, was like, yeah, good call. And we had a stellar
Gotta
show.
switch up the word. No, it's funny. Words are important sometimes.
Well, last time I saw the backwood with Juvie, and oh my god, I was dumb stoned.
Well, kudos to Big Hayes over here. You know, he got us touching the ceiling.
Yeah,
But,
I feel like I'm hanging out with Juvie
shout out
right
to the super booth inside.
Yes, exactly.
What's that? Peekaboo? Shout out to K-Dot. But hey, you know, along with using this plant, not all strains, but sometimes, you know, you can get the munchies. So, do you have like a favorite go-to snack or
Ben and Jerry's. Ben and
I don't know. I feel
You
like
don't
I'm diagnosed lactose intolerant.
so,
But I love
too.
ice cream.
yeah.
And I still eat that shit.
Yeah.
I have a big ass bowl of fucking ice cream knowing I'm gonna be fucked up.
Dude, I'll smash a pint. I'll smash a whole tiny pint of
Yeah.
Ben and Jerry's when I'm stony baloney or when I'm out of this world.
Yeah.
That was my ritual day before college lacrosse games. Always a pint of Ben and Jerry's. Coincidentally, half baked too. The flavor with cookie dough, fudge brownie, all that stuff. And then I'm having the same issues as Big Hayes. I'm self-diagnosed lactose intolerant. So
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
I can't anymore.
I usually do sherbet or smoothies because I can't do the ice cream that much.
I
either.
used to be like
I'll do it every now and then. But
I used to be like a big pecan, like
butter pecan.
butter pecan,
Yeah.
like you know.
Pralines,
But I can't do like the nuts anymore. I feel like the nuts kill it. Like I could do just the ice cream without the nuts, but
No more nuts and cream for you?
no more nuts.
No more nuts and cream for you?
Had to get that in there.
Yeah, exactly. I was waiting. Hold on. No, so no, that's funny. When you get stoned, do you have like a favorite cannabis indoor or outdoor activity? Whether that's watching a movie, show, or just going to go do something. Some people, get stoned and chill, like on the couch, or some people get up and go do stuff, clean the house, or go out in nature, do fish. Shit, I go fishing sometimes. Whatever.
Well, granted that I'm constantly stoned.
Every day is 420.
Every day is 420. No. I'm not always constantly stoned because I'm starting to realize too, like you don't get shit done.
Well, no, like in the sense of like not like all day, but in the sense of you.
When we're actually enjoying,
Yeah.
and my partner and I really, really love to. I mean, who doesn't love to get stoned and cook in the kitchen and whip
Right,
out
for sure.
random shit?
Yeah, that's dope. Shit,
that's
you
the
have to reward
indoor-
yourself too.
Oh yeah, all the time. Like we always gotta take the pictures. We always like try the new stuff. That's probably the indoor activity.
Yeah, that's dope.
So you're like, let me say, she's one of the ones that goes and looks at these recipes and she's like, oh, let's try this.
All day.
Yeah.
That's
And
fine.
she's a big baker too.
Oh,
okay.
that's fine.
So
That's dope.
she's
I'd
doing
be
all
fat.
the baking stuff. I'm getting fat.
He said I'd be fat.
I'd be fatter.
He's
Okay,
stupid.
look.
He's stupid. Shut up. I'd be fat.
Yeah, I'm glad we don't got no comments yet. You know what I'm saying?
So no, the outdoor activities
Setting up stages.
all day. You took it out of my mouth, man. Like I am surrounded by cannabis 24/7. And the cool thing about working in the music industry and the entertainment industry is that, I mean, granted, everyone loves smoking weed. But the most creative people that I've met that smoke weed are people that work in this industry.
Yeah.
So just like getting a moment to smoke a joint with fucking Shopadelic or Slightly Stupid or Modest Yahoo
Yeah.
or Juvenile.
Right.
Yeah.
Nah,
Or stuff like that
I smoke with
is
some
my
dope people.
is my outdoor activities,
Exactly.
probably.
I smoked with Cuddy and Chip. Like some dope people, man. Damn, I forget their name. They're Black Puma, the Black.
Oh.
They're pretty dope, dude. They're
That's cool.
sick. I got even seen some dope like shows and experiences. So like, I've always said it like music, art, culture, fashion, all that stuff blends in with the cannabis culture.
Completely.
Like
Food, music.
food. I can't forget food.
Yeah, food, music, weed is my favorite thing. I think my favorite activity that I've ever really outward with weed that I've experienced possibly was with Poe Cambo, one of my good friends. Shout out Poe.
Hey.
He has been my personal chef on the
Hey.
road and been my personal chef
I feel like
at
I
several
heard his name
events.
before, Chef Poe.
You definitely met Chef Poe.
Yeah.
He's done stuff at Canapalooza. He's done stuff at the Vault with us with the other
Shout out
events.
to him. Salute.
Shout out Chef Poe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely got to probably get
Shout
him
out to
on.
all the cannon chefs out
Yeah,
there too. Yeah.
he's a man. He just had an awesome 8-course dinner this past Sunday,
I heard about
April.
that.
Yes.
Damn,
I wanted to go to that. Yeah.
Yeah, Chronic
Saudi.
Life Skills, and his lovely
Oh,
partner
yeah.
Alicia went to it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to make the next one.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. And shout out to Skills and Alicia. Them the homies too.
Yes.
Shout out to. I gotta get him on the show. Both of them actually. I want to get them both on the show.
Yeah, so the cool thing about Poe and like the cool thing about what we were just talking about outwardly smoking cannabis with all these wonderful creative people and
Yeah.
everything is he went on a little mini tour with me in Florida.
Huh.
And he literally stayed in our Airbnb as our private chef
Oh, that's
for
hard.
3 days, and we covered just the materials, and he got to sell his own hot sauce and chili oil at a couple of shows that I got to do on the road in Stuart, Florida, and Miami.
That's dope.
And it's just cool to be able to to share that experience
Oh, yeah.
with
sure.
people,
And
and that's the point of my brand, Artillery Production, is to blow up artists on any platform, whatever it may be. And if you're a private chef, I want to come blow up your art and brand, and then we get to smoke pot while doing it.
Let's do it.
Boom!
But I would even say, like, even in those experiences, like just smoking with people or like celebrity or high profile people, when you're like smoking with them, they're not that hurt. Like we're all.
They just
equal.
human.
It's
We're
like
breaking
you're-
bread.
Yeah, it's,
We're
there's
breaking bread. We're
there's-
hanging
yeah,
out.
Exactly. There's no longer this like, oh.
It's just like, oh, you
regular,
just like us.
Yeah, you're now connected.
Yeah,
And that's the thing about
and that's
weed.
that's
It
how they want to
connects.
be treated too, and because weed makes you like kind of realize like, oh, it's grounding in a sense. Like, It's
Yeah.
like, yo, let's.
Or just even help you realize about people, because like I feel like even with like celebrities or people, we got an idea or a vision of what we see of them because of the media,
Right.
and then you get around these people, and then it's like, oh, okay, this is who you are. I feel
Yeah.
like weed is like a great like opener to letting like people see who you are as a person.
Exactly.
Yeah, and even well said. That's well said, and even the person themselves, especially on how they use it and like respond to it, you can do some reflection and be like, healing, therapy, all that, and just be like, oh, I'm a better person overall. I know how to be a better person from my use of cannabis in a sense, and that's what's dope about it. Is like I think people. That's why I say it's even spiritual for some folks, because they see it as a religion almost, because they have been able to like change their perspective on life or just respond to life way different or in a positive outlook, and have a bunch of people do the same with their lives. Because shit, you work at a dispensary. I used to work at one, and you see so many walks of life. People that probably don't want you to know that they smoking, or you wouldn't even think, and they like coming in there, and it's like, damn, like what? Like I wouldn't even I wouldn't have even expected it. Like,
No, for sure. The people I see every day like that come in and buy cannabis, and it's like people like you would never think, for sure. Like these people you see at these offices and these buildings, and stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, like you're one of us.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll be in the line of the medical card, and I'm like only doing the dispensary with dread sometimes in the medical line, and I'm like seeing gentlemen that like in suits coming in. I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah.
we all indulge.
Exactly.
We all indulge.
And that's what's so powerful about the plant, and they need to kind of like stop ignoring it and respect it, because like so many people, like even veterans, like obviously there's a time and place to use it for them too, but it's like when I'm using on duty and all that, but when they off duty or out of they're no longer doing the service, they should be able to be supported and not have to be afraid of losing their support from the government.
but then I would say, what's the difference from you giving them the Percocets and still having them do their job? I mean,
That's true.
FDA,
That's true too, though.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
almost worse. It's not any worse.
You give them these pills, and these
that's just like football
and
players and
they're still
athletes
doing,
too.
and they still have to do their job. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
nah.
they're still.
You ever notice how like sometimes I feel like in sports, like if it goes to like an intermission or break, that somebody that's kind of hurt or semi-hurt,
Oh, and they go
come
to
back.
tent.
And
No, but you see how they cover them up with a tent, like
well,
the
yeah,
NFL.
that or they go in the locker room and they come back and they like beast mode, and it's like, yo,
shot your ass.
yeah,
Cortisone, man.
Yeah.
It's fine, yo. Let's look about cortisone. Fuck it. No big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give him the shot. Give him the shot. That's what I
Right.
say. Give him the shot.
And that's kind of way more harmful almost.
Like, what's in there?
Right.
Just
Like,
give him the shot. That's
Yeah.
all. It says it on the side on the white paper, like the shot. That's all. That's all it says. It's the
And
shot.
it's a bummer. Like
it is.
It's a bummer, but I'm glad we are in the prohibitionary days right now of weed, as if we were in alcohol. But in like the 40s, maybe way early in the days,
20s maybe.
Yeah, I don't even know how long ago the alcohol prohibitionary days were, and it's to the point where like, obviously they were using whiskey and stuff for amputees and to get through all those kind of surgeries and stuff like that. But also then they realized, oh, this is a recreational thing. We're in the same boat as that, and the government just can't fucking control it.
Yeah.
They can't. That's why Ohio's trying to like fucking break back down.
Right.
And it's
Trying to go backwards.
I mean, it's almost the same because they couldn't control alcohol. I mean, just how like people
Exactly.
make alcohol. And,
But
Moonshine
alcohol never
also.
grew wild weed grows wild, like naturally. Before us being here, literally, it's designed. It's so many weeds from all terrains and geography locations. Like it's designed to be here.
We
like,
just have it's always a stipulation. It's always because poppy seeds grow. Naturally. You get what I'm saying? But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like it's like if you just found a patch of poppy seeds growing somewhere, and they're like, all right, well, I found some wild poppy seed, and it's like, okay, it grew here naturally, and I just took it and made something with it. Then it's
I'm an herbalist.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's always gonna be like some type of like stipulation.
Shout out to the herbalists
Coca
out
beans.
there. But
Those are plants. From the last time you add some
they are.
shit.
I mean,
You
yeah.
add some shit to it.
I
but
wonder if poppy seeds is in the shot. Is it like the shot, the pop, the shot, the pop, the pop shot?
The pop shot. Hit him with the pop.
That's why they don't want you to know about it.
No, hey, shout out to those to two dope athletes that they're involved and they're advocates in the industry. Al Harrington and Ricky Williams. Like they
Ricky
both.
Williams, yeah.
Al Harrington, I think retired, but Ricky Williams pretty much stopped early, and he got frowned upon too for his cannabis use. Josh Gordon lost so many millions of
lot of
dollars,
athletes
but
use marijuana.
it's a lot. Yeah, but shout out to them for those two, especially for like I said, like getting involved. I think there's another guy, Eugene something. He might be with GTI, Eugene Monroe, something like that. But anyways, like you gotta have people that are on those like levels to actually support us too, because we need more of those folks to like definitely stand behind it, speak up. That's what I was saying with Tyson. Like it was like I salute him for doing
Mike,
that.
yeah, Mike
man,
for sure. I mean, Mike doesn't give a fuck.
Or Ric Flair
doesn't care.
He does not care at all. He does not care.
It's like I've already been a man zero. What do I need to consult with you for?
So if you could change one thing about the cannabis industry as a whole, what would it be?
The fingers of the goddamn government.
Okay.
Get them
Alright.
out of it.
Illuminati. No, I'm playing.
Oh, but I think it's ridiculous. As I'm lighting a joint or a blunt, it seems like a little pyromaniac of me. I think it's ridiculous of what we were just talking about, how they can just grant us the freedom and the ability to grow our own plants, to actually start indulging recreationally.
Right.
And then they're realizing all these events of people finding loopholes in the legality that they presented at first. With, I'm not going to name off all names of events.
Right.
But some of what I work with, they're now facing issues with the government. Like, oh shit, now people are indulging outside. There's people doing things under the table, which people are always doing things under the table.
As long as there's a table, there's
Right,
going to be
it's
an under.
America.
In politics,
So,
If there's a table, there's always an under it.
it's
something
a,
under it going on.
it's a whole conundrum, because we are supporting their first choices so well, and we're excited to be in Ohio and other states for the rules to be present and all that good stuff, and then they now just want to pull this under the rug because they can't control it.
Right.
They can't actually be on top of it as much as they want to be, and start kind of making all these different legalities now, like, oh, you can't indulge in public now, you can't have flour on you. Like, now it's scarier
You're right.
to have weed on you than it was before, when it even was medicinal.
And it was just backwards, back-assers. Like, why do they keep doing that?
So that's why it's just like, okay, let us do our thing. Like, and the black market, there's always black market in every industry.
For sure. That's
Yeah, so there's black market in alcohol, there's black market in other drugs, there's black market in other industries. It have it be stocks, music industry,
Food.
anything. It's food, exactly, service industry. So it's not gonna stop. So for them to try to crack down on it and then just be more harsh is going to now, I think, hurt their whole citizenship and their opinions towards the government.
Correct.
And I wish they just stay the fuck out.
Yeah, nah,
Stay the fuck out of our business. We'll respect you if you respect us, and now you're disrespecting us.
Correct. No, I mean,
I'm pulling on the rope.
you're right. They could be doing it a lot better, especially if they could just obey what the people voted, because we definitely voted, like, and it wasn't like a close call. It was like a majority, like, yo, people want this. And now it's like, instead of moving backwards, how about you, like, work with people and figure out, let's make this industry more thriving so people want to support it, and so that obviously the legacy market is going to always be there, don't get me wrong, but you can help create opportunities for people in the legacy market to become legal, so that eventually the legacy market would dissipate in some aspects, but you got to open the doors up. And I think, both sides got to be willing to support each other. There's people that, and I say this all the time, there's people that, like, just want the money versus, and don't know much about cannabis or the culture, versus people that, they want money too, don't get me wrong, but they've been doing it all their lives, or just, for the most of the times it's been illegal or underground. And so it's like, how do you just kind of just wipe away a lot of people that don't, that deserves it? It sucks though. So it's like, I wish people on both sides understand. Like, yes, as we can see, cannabis is being turned into a business, a big business. But those people could there's small businesses in other industries. So why can't the small businesses have an opportunity to exist? And that's why you have these events that exist now, like where they're like, yo, we're still gonna pop up and make our own event as a community, as a group of folks, and which is dope. I support them all, because even at those events, you see sometimes more folks than some of these legal medical events, or what do you call it? Approved events. Yeah, approved. Yeah, but at the same time, that's the thing. A lot of people are like, they don't feel like they need that approval to do something with this plant, in a sense, as long as they're like a private space, or
it's not harming anybody.
Yeah, as long as they're not harming, shit, you can go to drink as much as you want, buy as much alcohol as you want, and damn near kill yourself. Yeah. But and you can do that just out in public. But damn, you can walk around now with the Dora and all that stuff and drink. Like,
you can't smoke a fucking joint outside anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
it's always important to support local small businesses, because in my opinion, that's what also helps create helps society and economy.
Well, there's so many people that have been growing lately. They're excited once we said, hey, you can have X amount of plants, X amount of plants,
right,
pump the gas. And some people took advantage of that. Like, there's so many people that, take pride in their work. And it's awesome. And now, sadly, they're trying to change it. So it's lame.
So, if you could change the strain name, I mean, you could change the strain. If you had the opportunity to create a strain name, what would it be?
Noise ordinance.
That's good.
NO.
I like that. Noise ordinance.
Yeah, and it's just off the top of my head, because
that's the best way.
First off, I can't even say it right now because I'm so stoned. So people can't imagine, like, people
noise ordinance. What?
Yeah, like NO, baby. You know what I mean? So GMO NO.
Yeah, there you go.
And then I feel like you can fucking cross train that shit. Like,
right.
You can give me some GMO with NO. You can
get some Wi-Fi OG with some something else. We gonna make noise.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder where do you go to get that job to weed? Cause at this point,
there was a gentleman that I worked with at my first job ever in Columbus, Ohio, was a beer delivery driver for Tobacco International. And there's a guy named Turtle, who is the accountant for A&R Creative, who owns Ethanol Tank, Midway,
Wow.
Tobacco International, The Crest.
That whole spot. He got that whole block off.
all
there.
those bitches.
Damn.
Alchemies,
Damn.
the smoothie shop.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah, so he owns those, and their Count Turtle moved to Denver, and he was a hash namer.
A hash namer.
Literally, he just was just taking hits of dabs at a processing center, helping
Damn.
press the plant material into oil and hash and all that stuff, and he got to name the strains and everything.
Damn. That's interesting.
And different, like, because obviously they had the cross brands, like the wheat strains into
Right.
the cross or whatever, but then he got to name some stuff like, right now my favorite brand that's going around right now is called Swole.
Okay.
And it's an awesome, like, great hash brand. I think they're based out of Michigan and they're working a lot in Ohio now.
Yeah.
But they have awesome, great names, and all of their 2 gram ice cold hash rosin pucks are branded really well.
Okay.
Really well.
That's
Swole.
awesome.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to them. Would you say, or actually, I know you're involved in music, but who and what like are some of your top favorite artists to listen to? Like name top 5 when you're stoned.
Oh my gosh.
If you can do
Alright.
that.
Alright, so I'm just gonna go.
Or genres maybe.
I'm gonna do 3 genres and then 5 artists out of those 3.
Okay, there you go.
Reggae, rap, and then EDM
Okay.
for sure. And EDM is like all the genres. So
Yeah.
I like say reggae, rap, and rock.
All right.
And then out of the 5 artists out of the 3, I would say like Ballyhoo and Chopadelic are my 2 reggae ska bands, and then I really like 3 pretty much ska reggae bands right now. Little Stranger behind that too.
Mhm.
So 1 to 5, Ballyhoo, Chopadelic, Little Stranger. I really enjoy Flowbots.
Okay.
Back in the
Oh,
day.
yeah,
Like I
work
can
some of their
ride
concerts.
I can ride my bike with no handlebars.
Yeah. With
So-
no handlebars.
Yeah. And you can still rap maybe and some maybe rock. And then like classics at that point for my 5th band, like I don't know, like I work with so many genres and artists that it's just like I can't even discriminate.
I feel
for
it.
sure, I
Nah,
feel
you
like-
can spread the love too. For
Yeah, but I'm a
that's
big reggae slut.
sure.
Big reggae slut for sure. And it just matches the vibe perfectly. That's
For sure. With the Bob, you know, rest in peace, Bob. Shout out to
Yeah.
Bob Marley, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
They're both brothers or sons. Damien and Jamie are gonna be in Thornville, Ohio. Last weekend of July to August for Everwild. So I'll be working on the main stage with those guys.
That'll be
dope.
amazing.
I know. I'm excited to meet with them.
gosh.
Yeah, for Everwild Music Festival hosted by Chopadelic, who I do visuals for.
I feel like I've heard that name before.
Big ska brass reggae band from Cleveland. They
Okay,
fuck hard.
yeah.
They fuck hard for sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Solid. Shout out to hell yeah. Nah, that's dope. Well, he said, they fuck hard. So we're gonna smooth this transition over to story time, where you can just briefly share. You kind of already done it in a sense, but if you got any other news stories or cool experiences you want to share, we can talk about it. But like, what was your first time using cannabis like?
Oh man. Oh, my dad got so upset. But I got grounded. So my most positive,
Not grounded.
like whoever doesn't
Back
get
when people got
grounded.
grounded, people.
Yeah, you remember that? You remember that term?
No, they don't.
That story's not reputable. I was, I got caught smoking in my garage, and that we were not a real person for a month after that. So
I mean, hey, see, back then it was really frowned upon, and I'm sure now. I mean, even obviously it depends to your age and all that, but you don't have to just disclose that. If you don't
It's
want.
wild. It's wild. No,
Parents
it's
would be
great.
devastated.
We joke about it all the time.
Yeah.
It's awesome because it's now so chill and it's accepted now. And like I said, my pops leads AA meetings, so he understands that I use cannabis as an alternative of other sedatives and solutions and all that stuff to break away from reality. And that being said, it was a hell of a time. I was 14 at private school, and we had a little like street fest across the street. And we got caught smoking in the garage. I was like, "Get the fuck out!" In the back, and I was grounded for X amount of time. But the best part is my mom was so mad at how my dad reacted about the situation where I got taken to Olive Garden. Really stoned.
Gotta go eat some herbs.
Hey,
Yeah,
Olive Garden and that's back when like Olive Garden might have been top
Breadsticks.
tier.
They were still
Like-
boxing up your meals for you at
Oh,
that time.
Olive
They don't do that anymore. They don't do
Olive
that
Garden might have been
anymore.
top tier back then. Like, come on.
Oh, so
like real authentic,
Man.
Italian stuff.
But my first time ever really like smoking pot and like enjoying it was, and not have, when I say enjoy it, and not making trouble, was we saw Kesha.
Oh, okay.
Kesha at the Nutter Center. Right? Oh my god. When the something.
I forget. It's been a minute.
It's when Timber came out.
Oh,
It's going
wow.
down.
Timber.
I'm yelling Timber. You better move. You better.
On the radio.
And
Wow.
we just started talking to girls at that time. We were 16.
I want a Kesha. I want a Kesha. He said I want a Kesha.
They all wanted Kesha, so I was like, I want Kesha.
Okay.
So this is when we were all like starting to perfect our blunts, and we did a bunch of yard work for my mom to go to Kesha, and she bought our tickets.
That's what's up.
And then we snuck a bunch of Kahlua and Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Not cool.
So we're like faded, smoking white grape white owls, hot boxing around our high school parking
My sister had
lot.
an obsession with those for a second. We went through a white owl phase for sure. And she didn't smoke nothing but the white grape ones.
The white-
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Everybody I think, went through one of those.
A white owl
White
phase.
owl, yeah.
Definitely went through a white owl phase.
So we were heavy on the white owl phase, drinking Kahlua, Mike's Hard Lemonade, and that was my first time going
Mixed
to a...
Kahlua and Mike's. First off, y'all stomachs had to be on like
Dude,
Kahlua
I
and
was-
Mike's Hard Lemonade.
I was there partying to Kesha. What do you expect?
Don't stop. Like who made those choices? Like
It's going down. I'm yelling timber. So that's how it went. That was my first time real concert. Really enjoying weed with the homies.
Hey, I mean,
hell yeah.
live
So-
music has always heightened the experience of
Every
using
time.
cannabis,
Hell yeah.
and usually that's when it's not too frowned upon. So, kudos. That's what's up. That sounds like a time well spent moment, and you remember it. Would you say cannabis helps you with your creativity at all?
Oh my gosh, unreal to the point where like it's I work so much in the event industry and being a producer and all that stuff where I'm surrounded by we're doing a lot of shows at bars and all that stuff, and I'm always smoking pot, and I'm always like just having random sporadic ideas off the weed where if I'm just smoking pot, I would be more creative. So yeah, completely. If there are moments where I'm realizing that I'm not actually embracing the moment at the time, and it's too stoned ever, it's just because maybe I took too many edibles or took too many dabs. But every time I hit the bong or the bowl or even a dab, it's always grounding because my mind's always running and rushing so much. And the creativity comes into play when I'm actually grounding myself.
Right.
And that's when I can actually focus on my project at that moment, because I have so many visual projects going on, so many audio projects going on, so many laser projects going on. where the pot actually helps me zone in on my creativity.
I was about to say, you kind of work a job where you actually need to be creative.
Yeah.
Always, and I'm bouncing off it, and I'm always creative. But then the point now too, and I'm sure you guys experience this as well as stoners. Our minds are always racing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean?
I take cat naps. I be trying to sleep longer, but
Yeah,
sometimes-
bitches sleep, pimps nap. You know what I mean? So my mind's always racing.
What happens when you barely sleep it out?
That's where the pot comes
You're a
in.
vampire. Yeah, okay.
It helps me zone in, and it helps me actually zone in on the creative projects and make them more potent too.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So it's always, and then it kind of gives like a more flair to it, because I mean there's times too where I'm like I said, my mind's racing so much, and I'm thinking about this show. We got 3 shows this weekend.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have a festival tonight, so I got 2 shows tomorrow, another show Sunday, where I literally, having a smoke session with the artists for one of these shows gives me the opportunity to be creative with them and figure out
Talk
talk
to
what we want to do for the visuals and stuff like that. And as we're sitting here spitballing, breaking bed over the table, smoking pot,
Breaking Bud.
yeah. So we
Breaking
do the same thing, because sometimes some artists are too nervous to even
Yeah.
express to me what they want creativity wise.
It helps the communication flow and process easy.
Completely.
Like,
Yeah.
And you're not lying though. Like in general, I've noticed like some people are so creative that they're socially awkward in a sense. They can be so like cannabis can help like bridge the gap with all that from artists to like you said, speaking to their creative director or whatever, or stage production manager. So that's dope. That's well described in what do you call it? Visual. I don't know if you're listening or watching, you should be able to understand the breakdown. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Synesthesia is the term that helps volume in drugs and or other influences to make creative visions.
Say that one more time.
Synesthesia.
Okay.
So usually it's influenced by sound, but also can be influenced by other senses.
Like like vibration or like
vibration, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's what gives people actual visual experiences. So when you hear like, let's say like you got your eyes closed and you're hearing some sound, maybe your favorite song,
right? Yeah.
And you come back to a memory.
Yeah, that's true.
Or come back to something.
Yeah,
that's
time in your life. Yeah. Damn, that's dope. That's
yeah.
Because I do that all the time with music. Even when I'm driving, so you can crash if you hear the right
when
song.
I'm stoned in the shower with the water rushing on my body. Shower thoughts. I know this is like, oh baby, I got shower thoughts all day. Inappropriate or not, I'm sure you did.
Not because like I'm like an artist myself, but also like I write music and stuff. So like definitely like make some of the best like music in the shower.
Yeah, dog.
Sounds so good in the bathroom.
Shower thoughts.
With
I'm telling you.
just are,
Shower
but
thoughts.
it sound good when
No,
you're singing in the shower.
Pause. No, but no homo. But that's real.
Between the buds, baby.
Singing in the shower.
Between the suns.
Oh shit.
No, but so we gonna get close to wrapping it up. But how long would you say you've been doing your craft, and like what do you have in the works, and what do you want to share with the people about like your I guess upcoming
all the things. We got all the things.
Running back. All right, start again.
No, I'm just saying. So basically,
that rose rap's got something going.
What's next for Devin and you know what I'm saying?
So next artist.
Well, I wanted to say how long. Well, first, you express how long you've been doing your craft, because I know we were talking about how it helps with it.
Oh
but,
yeah.
It sounds like you've been after lacrosse in college. You have gone, transitioned to the music scene for quite some time now, and then basically elaborate, what you got coming up next too.
So thankfully, I have been doing this for 6 years. This upcoming fall.
Hell yeah.
Like I said, the first band I ever got to tour with was High Definitions.
Yeah.
they blessed me with a beautiful opportunity to be their tour manager, where I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. They just were like, hey man, we trust you. You can't really walk right now because you tore your Achilles from lacrosse. And that being said, it was also, they smoke a lot of weed, I smoke a lot of weed, and I had a hotel discount.
Yeah.
So I walked, crutched around with them on the East Coast in Pittsburgh, Philly, Jersey, a bunch of states in West Virginia, or cities in West Virginia as well. And it snowballed to the point where a gentleman named Aaron Oakley, who is the audio engineer for The Works, big jam band, and he actually is a radio frequency engineer for Carrie Underwood. Lives in Nashville. Yeah, wireless mics. Yeah, just wireless mics, but which are a lot. Inner ear monitors and wireless mics for Carrie Underwood and their band are 20 plus. So he taught me audio at Brothers Drake Meadery, and this was in 2019 that I started doing this, and just started snowballing. And then we did an art gallery show called Artillery Gallery. This is really funny. At Duamici's restaurant during the BLM protests. And my roommate at the time was a tattoo artist who was tattooing a veteran on campus above 4th Street, the Barn. And the gentleman he was tattooing had a bazooka and a pot plant for sale.
Okay.
So the bazooka obviously is not functioning. We would never buy a functioning bazooka, but I bought the bazooka with the tripod, has a shield on it, with the scope and everything that was used in the past, and the pot plant is like just a clone for $50. So I was like, I'm gonna paint the shit out of this. I'm gonna paint the shit out of this bazooka and stuff it with some fucking leaves and install it at the courtyard of the state house.
I want a bazooka for $50.
I have it. I still got it, dog. So
I'll give you 100. Look.
I give you 2.
So we called it Artillery Gallery, and the gentleman at Duamici's, Jeff. Shout out Jeff. He's the man. He gave us the opportunity to use the space for free during the protests and during COVID with all the times with the masks. And I had Jay Swiffa, Bona, and Mike Dow all DJ, and I had artists paint the bazooka to show that we could be peaceful with guerrilla warfare at the same time.
That's good.
Okay.
And we sold out. And I had no idea what I was doing. It was my first event myself ever to produce.
That's it.
And Artillery Gallery now has turned into Artillery Productions, which is my LLC.
Nice.
So Artillery Productions, we blow up artists on any platform. I have a staff of techs that we do shows and festivals with. I help do shows at the Key. Right now we're hoping to open up Bonnier Building by June, which is going to be a drag queen club on Hine State called Sioux Soul.
Okay.
So that's my next project right now. But with artists, this weekend we got Ope Collective tomorrow at the Summit Music Hall on April 19th, 2025. The reason why they're called Ope is because every time they sell out a show, which is every show, everyone's bumping into each other like Ope, 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 Ope. So shout out Ope, Big House Collective.
Opa!
Opa! And then we also got a big show with Jai Wolf, Atlanta techno DJ at Idea Foundry from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., which is also tomorrow, April 19th, 2025. So we provide production as well as LED wall, audio, lasers, projection mapping, everything to the extent, with also the best labor techs that I have on my roster. And then we got a projection mapping yoga 420 event where you can press and smoke on the body you want at Gravity.
That's it.
So that'll be nice.
Gravity.
Yeah, so Gravity Yoga. And then my next big artist I'm working with is this upcoming weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend in Tampa for 427, and I'll be working with Onyx, the duo rap group. Slam! So that'll be a fun show.
Something like that.
Yeah. I don't really know, but
I just sounded like the rhythmic pattern.
Yeah.
You got to stop. Everybody to stop and think like.
Which I'm hyped because when the rap artists are really into it and getting like hype like that, that's always fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that's what we do. And the cool thing of festivals, the biggest cannabis festival, since we're here at a cannabis podcast, is Stargazer Music Fest, Music and Arts Fest. Yeah,
Stargazer.
Chad, Julie, you guys are the best. They are probably the best promoters and producers of a cannabis fest that I've ever worked for. Having worked with Cannapalooza, Backwoods Fest,
We were there.
other ones, yeah. So Afroman will be at Stargazer this year, guys.
Hey,
Yeah.
I was gonna clean my room.
Shout out to Afro Man. He shout out
Code
Between
45.
the
That's
Bloods
one of my
already.
bangers.
We gotta
I
get
ain't
him
gonna lie,
on
Code
here.
45.
Dude, I didn't even know he shreds the guitar. So,
That's dope.
but yeah, that's my next big festival. Well, not next big festival, but my next big cannabis festival.
Yeah. That's dope.
I'm booked up every weekend. We got a lot of guys booked up every weekend, but the biggest thing what we like to do with Artillery Productions is not discriminate at all in any events.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of street events. We do a lot of children's events. We do bar mitzvahs, bar mitzvahs, quinceañeras. We do it all.
Yeah.
So
Baby showers.
So how can they contact you? How can the people find you or reach out to you?
we're getting our website redone by my manager Taylor Allen, one of the owners of the Key itself. He's my business manager and talent manager. But that being said, we'll have our website up very soon. And if not, on our Instagram, you can find Artillery Productions LLC. Or myself, AV Munt, which you have my personal email on it as well.
Solid. Oh yeah, man. Well, we appreciate
We always contract him.
y'all heard the man. You know how to reach out to him. He's always working. It sounds like it for sure. So you need something, look him up, get him on the books. But we appreciate you, brother, for taking the time to coming on the platform.
Yes.
Big Hayes, appreciate you as well. And we're all just Budz, and we're just growing. So we appreciate everybody out there. Shine will spin.
Catch y'all next one.
Happy medicating. Peace. We out.